Hello YouTube. I'm about to share this dream that I mentioned in my previous video. So for those who have ears, you know what to do. I'm just going to jump right in. No man knoweth what day or what hour the Lord cometh, but we have to be prepared for whatever that there is to come until he does. Darkness is pouring into the world, and if you are not covered in the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, then your spirit will become infected and you will become hosts to demons. Yeshua has given instruction to be vigilant in word, in fasting, and in prayer. In this dream, I was with this guy, and I knew that we were partners, not in relationship, but we were working partners, and we were running across red sandy dunes in a desert, and the air was foggy, like dusty is a better word, and we were running really fast. We were trying to get to a specific place. We needed to retrieve a very important item. I can't remember what it was, but I know that we had to hurry and get there. And just as we were approaching the location, we looked up and we saw locusts, swarms of locusts. And they were coming down to where we were, like in a funnel. And they touched the ground, and then they separated. And as they separated, a man appeared. And we knew that this man was evil. He looked Middle Eastern. He wore all black. His hair was jet black. And he grabbed the object that we came for. And as soon as he grabbed it, this neon blue beam shot from out of the sky and went straight into his chest. And it caused him to levitate. And his arms were stretched out wide. And I knew that he was absorbing the energy, the power from this blue beam. Soon after that, I just remembered him approaching us, and me and my partner, we were on our knees. There were men. I remember 2 men with him, and they bound us and threw us into what looked like a dungeon. We weren't down there for long. I don't know how we got out, but we were not down there for long. The next scene I remembered, we were on a farm, me and my partner. We were on a farm, and we were talking to a colleague. I knew that he was a colleague, and I knew that he was an angel. Just like my partner, I knew my partner was an angel as well. And we were telling him what had just happened to us. And I noticed that my partner was holding one of the locusts in his hand. Like, this locust was crawling all over his hand, And it didn't do anything to him. It was almost as if this locust was a pet. That was the behavior of the locust. This was a strange looking locust. It looked kind of like a locust, but then it kind of looked like a bumblebee, a big bumblebee. It was very, very odd looking. And the black guy that we were talking with about this locust, he says, when you see one, the rest will follow. And when they come, things are going to start getting really, really bad around here. And we all agreed. We continued to talk. I couldn't remember exactly what we were talking about, but soon after that, the black guy went one way and we went another. My partner and I approached a barn. And inside the barn, there was a room. It had a door to it. And we walked over to this room. And inside, I saw a black woman. And she was just standing in a corner. She was doing something. And on the outside of this room, I saw this white lady, and she had blonde hair. And my partner said to her, he said, you need to get inside that room. And so the woman is like, why? And he said, please, just get inside the room. So this woman was being a little difficult because she wanted to know why. Why does she have to get inside that room? So he pleaded with her one last time, and she eventually went into the room where the black woman was. So we were about to shut the door, and then my partner says, whatever you do, whatever you hear, do not open up the door. So I don't know if that made sense because I just got interrupted a little bit. So let me repeat that. My partner said, whatever you hear, do not open up the door. And so the woman agreed. She was a bit confused because she had no clue as to what was really going on. So we closed the door and we bolted it up. My partner and I proceeded to walk towards this car, and it was an old 1970 something Chevy, olive green in color. And we get into the car. As soon as we got into the car, these locusts came out of nowhere. Swarms of locusts. And they covered the car. There was just so many of them. And, there were some that covered the car. And it caused the inside of the car to become pitch black. And we were in this darkness for maybe 2 seconds, and then the locusts flew away. As soon as they flew away, we saw zombies everywhere. They were all over the place. Straight up dead people, alive, walking around, zombies. And so my partner's in the driver's seat and I'm in the passenger. And I turned and I looked behind me to the passenger seat. I noticed that the back window was down. And it was down maybe about 2 inches. And I became nervous because there was a zombie leaning against the car, and it looked like he was staring into the car, like he was in a daze, a zombie-like daze. And my partner says to me in a low voice, he said, "Roll up the window." So I whispered back to him, and I'm like, if I roll up the window, he's going to freak out. I was afraid to make any sudden movement because I knew that if either of us made any sudden movements, this zombie was going to go berserk. So my partner's like, we have to roll the window up. And I'm like, okay. So I slowly reached down for the knob to roll the window up. But before I even had a chance to touch the knob, the window in the back seat was already going up. I don't know how, but it was already rolling up. And as soon as it did, that zombie started flipping out, and he was smashing his fist against the window trying to break it. I saw him run towards the back of the car. He was about to grab this tin garbage can, and me and my partner knew he was coming back. He was about to smash those windows in. And my partner, he put the pedal to the metal, and we went flying down the street. In the midst of us going down the street, it was like everything seemed to have slowed down. Like everything looked like it was in slow motion, so I was able to see our surroundings. And what I saw people, regular people, in the midst of these zombies. The zombies weren't attacking them or anything, but these people were bloody, and they were mutilating themselves. I saw people mutilating themselves. I saw people mutilating each other, and I knew that it was against their will. I knew that these people were possessed by demons. It didn't show in their eyes, but it showed in their movements. I saw in their eyes that they were in excruciating pain, that they were in horror, terrified. I knew that they wanted to scream, but they couldn't. And they had no control over their body and what they were doing to it, or what they were allowing others to do to their bodies. I knew that these people were unbelievers, those who were mockers, scoffers, those who were in sin, those who were wicked, those who were unrepentant. This man in the beginning of the dream that came with the locust, I knew and recognized as being the Antichrist. The two women that was in the barn, I knew that one represented true Israel and the other represented the Gentiles. The zombies, I had a knowing in my spirit that these zombies were a result of a viral outbreak. And I want to share two visions that I had. One was the beginning of this year, around maybe a little after the beginning of this year, and another one I just had maybe, I think it was 2 weeks ago. But in this first vision, I saw myself looking at a cave. And this cave was very dark, and I could see that it was a dark gray mist covering this cave. And I had like this desire to use a flashlight to shine the light into the cave. I wanted to see what was deep inside the cave. Like I knew something was there. And so I lifted up the flashlight and I shined it into the cave. And to my surprise, what I saw shadowy figures right there at the entrance of the cave. Big shadowy figures, beastly looking shadowy figures. And it was just a thin mist. I can tell that the mist between me and them wasn't that thick. It was a thin layer. And after that vision, I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, they're about to come out. These demons and everything that's dark and evil and wicked and hellish is about to come out. So this second vision that I had was, like I said, I think it was about a week or 2 weeks ago that I had this. I saw what looked like a forest, and I saw this white mist come up out of the ground, and I saw like these dark figures around it. And I say it like that because what I felt that I was seeing was something that had just been released. What was once hidden behind that gray veil has now begun to come out. You know what I'm saying? So Yeshua says that if you love him, you will obey his commandments. And you have to ask yourself, are you being obedient? You have to ask yourself, are you making a true effort to please him? Are you following and listening to him? Or are you following and listening to others? Ecclesiastes 9:8. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. This is important because you need to be able to protect yourself against the evils that are to come. Yes, Yeshua is coming. Yes, he is. But again, no man knows what day or what hour. Yes, we can feel him. Yes, he is coming. But no man knows what day or what hour. And evil is sifting into this world. And people are already becoming infected like a slow poison. And you need to protect yourself. You need to be that house built upon a rock. Everything that I have just said it shouldn't be anything new to anyone who is truly his, because his sheep surely do understand this, and they know his voice, and they follow him. This is important. Follow Yeshua HaMashiach. Listen to him. Stop following the crowd. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name.